Chair calls Jax Finkel.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, thank you very much for hosting this hearing today. We appreciate that. My name is Jax Finkel. I'm testifying on behalf of Texas NORML, and I'm in support of HJR 108. I want to start off by saying that this is something that a majority of Texans support. In fact, 54% of Texans want to re-legalize the adult use of cannabis. You'll find my first attachment, the UT and Texas Tribune poll, and that will break down the numbers for you further. What I'd like to do today is address some of the misconceptions and distortions that you hear from some people that misunderstand this important issue. Number one, we hear a lot that legalization means more kids will use marijuana. However, the numbers just simply do not support this. In the attached one-pager, based on the report Impacts of Marijuana in Colorado, written by the Department of Public and Safety and the Division of Criminal Justice, we actually see that teen use is relatively stagnant and in fact slightly decreases between 2005 and 2017. Number two, we often hear cops say, "We are using discretion and it works." However, we actually see an increase in arrest rates, especially in youth. There was a 21% increase in youth arrests for possession between 2015 and 2017. Half of all arrests in 2017 were actually youth aged 17 to 24. You'll see an attached graph for both of those numbers with a resource. In 2017, 64,000 Texans were charged with possession, and 2/3 of them ended up with a conviction. Texas wastes $70 million in taxpayer funds on low-level marijuana possession. I had the opportunity to speak with Chief Steve Dye from Granbury at the press conference that TPCA held last week, and he told me, "We just want to get these people in the system." By maintaining the status quo, we are doing just that. Number three, in fact, this is a financial issue. Cops and sheriffs are charged with managing budgets and very necessary resources for officers that are under their command. They seek to preserve the resources that are created by arrests and asset seizures that are related to marijuana possession. In 2017 alone, more than $50 million went to local law enforcement through civil asset forfeiture, much of it cannabis related. The funds are important to these LEOs because of a DEA program called Equitable Sharing. Through this equitable sharing program, money from local seizures, which would normally go to the county or the state, become federal dollars. They go directly back to the seizing law enforcement company or agency. This local money is rendered to the DEA, and the DEA, for lack of a better word, launders this money, keeps 20%, and returns the rest back to the law enforcement agency. This therefore bypasses any claim or regulation that the state or local government may have on these monies. Number four, we often hear law enforcement say, "We don't make the law, we just enforce it." However, the only public testimony we typically hear is from law enforcement, especially executive law enforcement organizations such as police chiefs and sheriffs, likely on the taxpayer dime. Their concerns are very different than the average citizen in Texas, who simply cannot abide leaving patients in pain or saddling Texans with criminal records to make law enforcement's job easier or to pay their department bills. Currently, there are over 60 cannabis bills this session, and not all of the discussion at the Capitol is about legalization, nor is all of the discussion secretly leading to legalization, as is often repeated by many LEOs that you've heard. Please recognize that medical freedom and civil penalties are extremely important measures to stop the harm that is being committed today in the state of Texas. But today you actually do have the question of legalization before you. And the only question really is who should decide?
Ms. Finkel, can you?
I will go very quickly. HJR is a vote to empower Texans so that Texans can decide the direction that they would like to go on this particular issue. We're surrounded by states that have sweeping change regarding cannabis, and soon Texas will be the largest economy in North America that has not taken steps forward on this matter. And I will close on that note and make myself available if you have any questions.
Ms. Finkel, we appreciate the graphs and the written testimony. It's very helpful for us when we go back and review this information. Members, are there any questions? Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.